For a majority of people coming from English-speaking backgrounds, be it the USA, home to Hollywood movies, or the UK, home to Buckingham Palace and fish and chips, or even Australia or New Zealand, home to Bondi Beach and Lord of the Rings respectively, most people associate the country Italy with warm beaches, fashionable clothing brands, and delicious food. Whilst these associations are true and interesting to a certain extent, Italy has many overlooked aspects to its culture and history. One of the purposes of this channel is to focus on an area known under a few different terms. In a contemporary context, many just call it the North, others Northern Italy. However, previous terms serve as a backdrop to the region's history. Padania for one, which I shall discuss in later videos. The most important word, however, which captures the region's history and people, is the Cisalpine Gaul, translating to on this side of the Alps, which stretched all the way from Trento down to parts of modern-day Tuscany. Although everyone in Italy speaks the Italian language, a language which was created by the writer and poet Dante, who was from Florence in the 14th century, this was not always the case, as Italy, as a country, was unified less than 200 years ago. In 1861, Italy was unified by Garibaldi, thanks to help from the House of Savoy, who were a royal family from Piedmont. Before this, several different states existed. For example, the Kingdom of Two Sicilies, the Kingdom of Lombardy-Venetia, belonging to Austria until 1866, Piedmont, Sardinia, and the Papal States, which were controlled by the historically powerful Church. At their peak, this region consisted of parts of Lazio, Marche, Umbria, Romagna, and parts of Emilia. Before the unification, and ignoring these powerful kingdoms, the local population of the Cisalpina era spoke languages which are rather different from standard Italian. They can be classified as the following: Lombard, Piedmontese, Ligurian, Valdostano, Emilian, Romagnoli, Venetian, Friulian, and depending on some perspectives, Trentini. Some consider Trentini a transitional language between Venetian and Lombard, although I'm not an expert, so I'm not going to jump on either side of that debate. Additionally, even rarer languages do still exist in northern Italy: the Walser language, the Latin language, and the Cimbrian language, although all of these three languages are close to extinction, unfortunately. These languages were, for centuries after centuries, the native languages spoken by agricultural workers, artisans, builders, and professional classes. Even if prior to industrialization, most people were proud peasants. Fast forward to today's day, 2023, and most of these languages, except Venetian, belong to UNESCO's classification of being, quote, severely endangered. Defined as a language spoken by grandparents or older generations, whilst the parent generation may understand it, they do not speak to the children in it or amongst themselves. I want to use this platform to have conversations with speakers of these declining languages, to not only learn about them myself, but to identify what these languages mean to the people who inhabit the land where these languages originate, and to try and showcase them to the world who have not seen this part of Italy before. I don't proclaim to be an expert or an academic, just someone who has an interest in this part of the world, as well as others. I also look forward to covering the history of these lands and examining aspects of the sociology, food, people, and anthropology, and of course natural landscapes in future videos. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any feedback, by all means let me know.